It is 5 PM and we can start the Public Property and Law Enforcement Committee meeting. Lori, can you do a roll call
Laura Negro,
here?
Ron Stender,
Here.
Laura Miranda, Brad Ray,
Here.
Mike Stark.
Here.
Approval of the agenda. Everybody have a chance to take a peek at that?
Yeah, Mike Stark, I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
All right, I have a first by Mike, a second by Ron. Any other discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Next is public comments. Is there anyone in the house for public comments? I don't see anybody. Online, is there anyone online for public comments? Anyone online for public comments? Anyone online for public comments? Seeing none, we can go ahead and go to the approval of the public property and law enforcement meeting minutes from April 24th, 2023.
This is Mike Stark, and I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the April 24th, 2023 law enforcement meeting as submitted.
Ron Stender will second.
Okay, I have a first by Mike, a second by Ron. Is there any discussion on the minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. On to review of the quarterly financials. Don't see them in the packet, so
Yeah, sorry, Sue's been out, so we will get all this stuff uploaded to the packet for you.
thank
But
you.
meanwhile, handouts have been given to everyone.
Okay.
So, it's the one that says Springbrook on the top there.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Yeah, so first question, if just generally looking at it, is this the type of format that you guys want to see?
Yeah, I'd like breakdown by departments that we oversee through this, but otherwise, this is great for finance, but anyone else have any comments or suggestions on it? Yeah. Quarterly versus actual for the,
So we're actually doing pretty well, it looks like.
what?
It looks like we're doing pretty well in the
Yes,
department.
yes. Anyone have any question on the content of the budget piece we see in front of us? Yeah, otherwise for like custodial and maybe emergency management, otherwise I like this format.
Okay, so add emergency management to it.
And then custodial.
Okay, Dave?
Yes,
Okay, go ahead and shoot, Dave.
well. So far, summer's been pretty good to us. We haven't had any issues really. Unfortunately, we're not gonna be able to get our construction done on the exterior of the building this summer. But it's looking like next summer. It's a lot bigger job than we all expect. Well, I knew it was gonna be a huge job, but. So, there's a few things that I think we should get done before the end of summer. I'd like to seal all the concrete sidewalks, because they take quite a beating over the winter with all the salt and whatnot. Pretty easy job. unfortunately, we're losing Sarah. And we're in the process of looking for somebody else to fill that part-time position. The last bad rainstorm we had with the driving rains, we had the water actually coming in through the windows. So I'd like to try to seal up, re-silicone the window frames. I mean, for the most part, though, everything's been going pretty smoothly. Haven't had any big issues.
And I'll add a couple things to that. So he mentioned Sarah is leaving. She's retiring next month. So congratulations to her. Also, as Dave said, we're not going to get the building work done this summer, and it's largely because we got no bids. So I wanted to wait to this meeting to let everybody know and get a general consensus. I'm going to re-put the quote RFP out, well, as soon as I get back from vacation. And so we can get on the contractor's calendar for next summer. And I think that's what the problem is. They're so booked out so far ahead that nobody had time to bid on it. So I'd like to get it, the RFP back out, change the dates to get it done next summer.
Gives us a good opportunity to talk to people at Counties Association too.
Yeah, so the deadline will be in October or maybe November but that way they have time to get out here and look at it before the snow falls.
You have anything else, Dave?
You know, not too much, actually. I think it's been going pretty smooth. So far, no issues.
Nice. That's what we want to hear. Just keep
Right?
telling us that, right?
I like it. It makes my life easy.
Exactly. All right. Any other questions from anyone? Okay, moving on. Sheriff Zupke.
Hi, I'll be reading besides the patrol information in the jail as well. Next meeting, I'll try to bring our new jail lieutenant administrator. So patrol information from April to July, we had 71 arrests, citations 135, and calls for service is 2,582. The jail population from April, number of bookings 209, daily average held in facility 37, daily average held on the ankle monitor program 10, daily average boarded 8, the total daily average 55. The 8 boarded are females. We're down staff, few jailers, so we have to board our females out to other counties. We were using Taylor, but now believe we're going to send them to Vilas right now. Until we can get fully staffed. There's like 3 positions open in the jail right now, so. The transportation breakdown. Total hours is 449.65, total mileage 11,110. Inmates by race, Native American since April 91, that's 43%. Hispanic 1%. African American 4, that'd be 2%. Caucasian 113, 54%. Well, that's all I have for that.
How much is it costing us to board the women?
I believe Taylor was, I can't remember, it was 40, was it 40, 50 bucks a day, I believe. I'm not sure, we have to move the Vilas. Taylor didn't wanted to, for some reason, didn't want the inmates anymore because they contract with Marathon County and they prioritize them, so we said we'd take them to Vilas, so haven't got a price on that yet. So.
$50 a day is about average for most county jails. Some are 45, some are a little bit more, but 50's.
Yeah, well, then our transportation and time in that too, so.
Well, yeah, transportation and then mileage on vehicles and all that adds up. And Brian, can you also talk about how you're short on deputies?
Well, yeah, we're short. It will be this month. Someone is planning on retiring, so it'll be the fourth one. That situation I'm kind of working on right now because basically the contract with Bad River, they want to redo a MOU. So we decided not to fill those spots yet until this is finalized and we can come to agreement and become current on some bills. They actually want to set up a meeting soon with Sue, Dan and I and their staff, travel ops. So I'm gonna hold off on those 4 right now just because until they can commit to what they want to pay.
Thanks.
They're currently about a year behind in payments.
So they would be treated like every other township. You know, we wouldn't stay there directly all the time like we do now, but we'll respond if there's calls and try to make our swings through.
Yeah. We're like charging interest or something on this, aren't we?
Excuse me?
We're charging interest on this. We got like a 90-day please pay thing, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd be happy if they just paid us.
Yeah, like I said, this is going on for quite a while. I
Yeah.
actually met with them last week and made that decision because we can't operate like this anymore.
Yeah.
So please get it current. I'm not gonna fill positions until that happens. So like I said, I believe they want to continue that. So they want to sit down and break down the numbers more of it's more itemized. They would like to see that more with the rate of pay and everything on there. I think what I got from Sue was you know, the monthly charges and all the fringe costs. But so there's some things we had to work out. So
Okay. Okay. Anyone have any questions? Emergency management. Christine? Christine, sorry.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, dear.
Excellent. I can't get my camera to go on. Hi there, Christina Zwonkowski, the new Emergency Management Director. I started June 26th, so I haven't been here quite a month. And I don't know exactly what you guys want, but I wrote down everything I did this month, so I will give you a quick rundown. When I started, the EPCR grant was due, so I completed that grant, and that will get the Ashland Fire Department $7,000 worth of hazmat equipment. They requested ammonia monitors and a bunch of other supplies to go with that. And that also gives emergency management $2,000. So I requested a laptop, a docking station, a note-taking tablet, and wires for a docking station. There were also, the following week, there were 3 more grants due for updates. So those were all turned in on the pre-disaster mitigation grant, the building resilience infrastructure and communities grant, and the hazard mitigation grant. Those were all turned in on time. I've been attending a gazillion meetings. Ashland County Bayfield Fire Association, they have, since Ashland doesn't have a fire association, they've invited Ashland to join theirs to do a joint one. So I attended that meeting. The EMS council meeting, I met with Teresa Erler. She's the WEM, the Wisconsin Emergency Management Director for this area. I met with her in person to discuss what she can do and what I do and things like that. I went to the Wisconsin Emergency Management Regional Meeting, the Consolidated PSAP meeting. I went through the office and found a bunch of things for the Ashland GIS person from the 911 signs that they were doing, I don't know, a couple years ago, I think. So I met with Brittany on that and gave her everything that I could find that she might need. I went to the Bayfield County LEPC meeting because that's something that Ashland County has to do. And I believe 4 or 5 of our members have already retired. So that's something I need to figure out and get going in the very near future. I actually met with Dorothy Tank to discuss her ongoing projects that she had when she left, just what was actually going on with those and what I need to do to finish those out. I've also met with Megan over the Bayfield County Emergency Manager several times. She is helping me along. So we've talked about all sorts of things, budgets, grants, e-grants, things like that. This past week, I attended the Bad River Emergency Response Tabletop discussion. There were several agencies there, Bad River, all of their agencies, the EPA, Enbridge, USGS, Wisconsin Emergency Management was there. And we discussed what would occur if the pipeline were to break. And unfortunately, I can't be there because I'm on my way to Green Bay for a grant writing training. And this training is geared to help me get state and federal level grants. And it's a free training. We're getting reimbursed by GLTC, the Great Lakes Intertribal Center. So I'm on my way there right now. I pulled over so I could meet with you guys. Any questions? That was a lot.
No, that was really good. If you had 5 more minutes, I think you'd have got 20 more things done. I appreciate the pullover and the talking with us, so.
All right, and I just want to add one thing to it. See, one of the handouts I gave you, I literally received this at 4:30 today, so we'll get it up on the website later. But Secretary Vilsack from the USDA has declared Ashland County a disaster area due to the drought that we've been experiencing. So that designation enables the Farm Service Agency to give out emergency loans to farmers who are eligible. So, and so it was Ashland, Bayfield, and Douglas counties that were the primary designators. So there's it's all in your handout. We'll get it on the website.
I'll have to check my email.
Yeah, I sent it to you around 4:30. So yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you, Christina.
Thank you. So next time I will be there in person, hopefully.
All right, on to the Matt update in progress.
Like I said, with the new jail administrator, it's been a transition. He just started a few weeks ago. There was kind of a delay in our process with that, you know, when it was vacant. The chief deputy and myself were filling in until he started. So I recently have Philomena Quebec made contact with me to get that, sit down with the new jail lieutenant and we'll go over what we want to do again. I know it was initiated in the past by Kyle Canad, but kind of dropped because, like I said, we had that vacancy. And so basically she wanted, there's a harm reduction coordinator from Bad River, Eli Corbine, and Kim Ford, who does drug user infectious disease prevention, plus Philomena. We're all going to sit down with our new jail lieutenant to see what they can do, bring programs in, start that up again, and kind of pick up where we left off. So that's that. And like I said, my goal is next meeting to bring Robert Yon. He's from Michigan prisons, 16 years there, great guy. When he left there, he actually came to our jail and shortly and left. Went over probation parole for a while, and I was able to recruit him. A lot of people tell me that you should get him. So I kind of personally approached him, and he's a great guy. So I think you all like him.
Nice.
Yep.
Any questions? Dan, anything to add? Okay. the LEPIC, local emergency planning board appointments.
All right, so, as Christina had said earlier, we have some retired members on this committee. Namely Sheriff Brennan, who I will be replacing with Sheriff Zutke. The next two names, Kevin. I don't want to
No clue.
butcher his name. Is retired too, so,
It's
I don't know.
Kevin
if-
Alioki.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You win.
So anyhow, if you guys have recommendations for that replacement. Also,
Dorothy's name's on there too.
yeah, I'm getting to that. Mike Bebo is also retired,
People, yeah.
and then of course we'll place Dorothy with Christina.
Mhm.
But I guess for the two other retirements, I'm looking for names for the committee if you have any. And we'll bring those to the full county board for confirmation.
There was certain, is it in our,
Yeah, it's in your packet, on the online version.
no, in our policy book, isn't there certain categories we tried to fill for
Uh,
each one of those people?
There's actually federal statutes on it.
Yeah, I know that, but then I thought our policy manual went on to say, okay, we wanted people like this category. So,
Okay, yeah, and that's, I'll look into that. But it has to be local and locally elected state and local officials, law enforcement, emergency management, fire departments, EMS, local environmental specialists, hospital and transportational personnel, broadcast and media, community groups, and owners, operators of facilities that are required to report hazardous materials. So that'd be like breadings.
what?
So like a company like Breadings would have a representative on here. Because they have to have a hazmat plan.
Of the two that are retiring, that we're replacing, what are they currently representing?
That's what I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It looks like Kevin, oh no. Firefighter. Kevin's a firefighter.
All right. So I will talk to Stuart Matthias and see if he wants to do it.
Can I chime in also?
Yeah,
Okay, I have the Excel counterpart that would have been Bebo's job. I think it was, I have his name in my office. I don't have it with me. And I also, as far as the tribe is concerned, I talked to Chris McGeejic out there, which is like second in charge, and he is willing to be on the committee if we need him to, but I'll get you all of those names of the people that I had talked to, and then just so you have them.
do you have any other suggestions?
No,
I do not know.
Otherwise, the bulk of these people are going to be reappointed. Obviously with Sheriff Brennan being
Yeah,
replaced
that's-
and Dorothy being replaced.
yeah, so. as long as we have-
Jackie Rose is no longer in that position.
Okay,
She
so-
doesn't. She would need to be replaced as well.
What was her position?
He was a tribal planner, and I
Okay.
believe currently the tribal planner is Ben Connors, and I haven't ran into him yet.
Any ideas, anyone? Are you all good?
Okay, so what I'll do is when we get the full list of names, I'll email it to the entire committee so you know beforehand. It goes to the county board. And then you can make any suggestions before the official nominations.
Okay. Joint dispatch update.
Okay, I'm gonna ask Supervisor Stender to chime in too. So we've had a first meeting of the new oversight board. Where Supervisor Stender has been appointed as Ashland County's elected representative. Well, it's not official until the full county board votes on it. Exec committee did approve it already. Supervisor Stender is vice chair and the supervisor from Bayfield County's chair, Larry. So the biggest issue, we're going to have another meeting on Wednesday to apply for the second round of grants. This round, we're looking to replace our records management system. So Cody. Long-term Cody is not going to fit our needs and it needs to be upgraded anyhow. So we're looking at a full cost replacement no matter what. So I believe that they're looking at Motorola now or Spillman, who Motorola purchased from. So we're looking at a second round of grant for that. And so we have to meet on Wednesday to finalize that. We're also looking for a name for the organization. So if you have any ideas of a name before Wednesday, that'd be great.
No pressure, right?
I know. Well, I can't think of one either, I'll be honest. We could just go simple Ashland Bayfield. Dispatch.
ABC, you know.
I was gonna say ABC, why not?
Yeah. But they're shying away with something like saying Schwamigan Dispatch because tourists wouldn't really necessarily know who that is.
Yeah.
So we're moving along. The new budget for that will be the next agenda item. We'll have to get that submitted fairly quickly to both finance committees. We're also gonna go out and start the hiring process for a department head to the person to lead the new consolidated department. We want that person to come in and be part of the whole merger and dispatch. We want them to work in both Ashland County and Bayfield County as soon as they're hired, so they get to know the people and how they work together and that person is going to be integral in the whole merger. I don't, Supervisor Stender, Sheriff Supke, do you have comments?
I been speaking to some Bill Hagstrom, the chief in Ashland here. And he's gonna, if not himself, have someone else at least listening in on the meeting so they don't miss any opportunities for what's coming up. Suggest we do that with all the local PDs. We don't want to buy something and then they're behind the 8 ball. So,
Yeah. Kind of move as one big unit, like we're gonna have to.
yeah.
He already mentioned what I was gonna say. So basically like the new, like you say, the new database program or records management. Right now, we're currently under the same system as Ashland PD. There's 8 agencies under that. So if we switch over, like Ron said, we got to have everybody on board to do it. To pay basically.
Yeah, so I already did warn the point that this is coming. Chief Defoe was in the building, so I let him know that was happening, or considering at least.
Yeah.
So we'll get a hold of Mellon also and let them know.
Anything else? Updates, questions, comments?
Just, I did speak with Stuart, the chief of the fire department, and he's gonna be listening in also. So it's gonna affect, him also.
Yeah, and I've been updating Stuart as the whole process goes along, so he knows what's going on.
Okay. Pownell Point update?
Well, if as a handout, I did email this out to everybody. But we're going through a mail merge, transferring from the co.ashland.wi.us domain to Ashland County wi.gov. And this sort of may have gotten lost because supervisors need to know how to log in, basically. So, basically, the Department of Revenue made their decision on LaPointe's request for a levy transfer. And on page 7 is the conclusion of law. The Department of Revenue sided with Ashland County. So the town can appeal this, or they can file a claim in circuit court. However, we have this portion one. So I did want to hand out copies to everybody because of the email thing. So zoning has a copy because they had a meeting that day. But I got it. So I'll be handing it out to supervisors as I see them.
Yeah.
And hopefully they'll get onto the email before then.
Questions, comments? Boy, oh boy, you guys are easy tonight. Space needs study, number 14.
Well, this one's kind of yours.
Go. Well, we need to figure out what kind of space we need and who needs what and what needs to be updated, because we know that Health and Human Services is packed in there. We know the Sheriff's Department has space that they need. And if we put an RFP out for a consultant to look at what kinds of things we do and the spaces that we have, we can see what kind of trouble we're in afterwards. But just to have somebody officially go through it, because Health and Human Services had wanted an addition. And in the Health and Human Services meeting, I requested that this got kicked to us. Because I don't know that an addition on their building is the most efficient, or if the group that does the space needs study can suggest some remote positions or not remote positions, or shift everybody around. So, but I think that's best left outside, because HHS's thing was based on a 2011. Somebody had come through and said possibly this is what they needed at that time, so kind of needs to be updated. But if we're going to do it for HHS, we might as well do it for everybody. And then look down the pipes of what we're actually,
Yeah, give us an idea where we are.
yeah,
So a space needs study is going to cost in at least $50,000. So we would have to do something in the budget for next year to handle that and decide how we want to pay for it.
Just at our, my sheriff trainings this year for Badger State. There's several companies that go there that specialize in, government centers, and they'll do a feasibility for you too. I got several ones if anybody needs it, contacts.
yeah. If you can pass those along, and
Sure.
then we should be able to talk to people at Counties Association. Because I know there was quite a few of them had some really great breakdowns of space needs studies for different places last year, so.
Right. And they can give us a good ballpark number to budget. So this is on your radar, guys.
Do we need a?
Well,
motion
I don't
for
think
it?
we need to do anything yet. I think we would just want to, since
least
we
get
don't know what the
everybody
cost is
thinking.
going to be, it doesn't make sense to take any action.
Yeah,
So I think the more appropriate thing for us to do was talk to Brian's people, talk to the consultants in the Dells this
Yeah.
September. And then if we have to hold it a September meeting
Yeah.
instead of October, you call that and then we do it and then it can go to finance.
okay. All right. Well, the next one's gonna be fun. Accept a $50,000 donation from MECA Wisconsin Police Canine Best Foundation.
So I'll start explaining how I was approached by this. So there's a lady, Muna Seno. She's part of the SMECA Wisconsin Police Canine Vest Foundation. Basically, one of our deputies started talking to her because I think Nick Ovisko had contact with her and he introduced our deputy. And he says they want to donate money. Obviously, he's interested in being a canine. So I said, well, obviously we have to get approved And I'm not ready actually, because we're doing so much right now with the hiring and getting situated, people trained. I says, I'm really not ready to start a canine. I do. It's my goal. But they said, we still want to give you the money right now. You can put it in your account. I says, okay. She's like, I don't care if it's from a year now. But she actually has a cabin in the Mellon area. She already started talking to Margaret Kusman on Sanborn there, the veterinary clinic. She offered to do all the work for free, minus the medication. And then I believe Blue Ribbons Kennel, I know they donate food to dog food to the Nick Oviska in town here. I think they're offering to do it as well if we get it. So it's kind of all set up and ready to go. We have to be ready to do it. But right now, they, like I said, they want to give the money, $50,000 would pay for. She mentioned 2 dogs. I mean, they're expensive, but then the training and then outfit the squad. We believe all that would pay for it. I think right now we'd start off with 1 and obviously just leave the money in the account and future things we may need. The one deputy is interested, like I said, we're looking more towards just a drug sniffing dog, tracking dog instead of a bite dog. I think there's a little more liability, and it seems like when you're just one duty of a dog, that the shelf life is a little longer too, as the officer and the dog. So, and with the problem, we have serious problem with fentanyl right now. I think that's our main focus, to be a drug dog and
Oh, yeah.
tracking, because we have so many search and rescues. So that's that.
Probably need a motion to accept that
Yeah.
donation.
Yeah, I just want to add, we'd stick the money into an interest-bearing account until it with however Sue thinks it's best, whether it's just a separate account number or a separate bank account itself. But it would go into an interest-bearing account until we need it.
Yeah. Do I need, yeah, yep.
I make a motion, we accept the 50,000 from Mecca.
I'll second that motion. Mike Stark.
All right, I have a motion from Ron, a second from Mike to accept the $50,000 donation from Mecca. Any questions? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. It's unanimous. Next meeting date.
I believe it's October 30th, unless we need to meet earlier for this a space needs study thing.
Does the 30th work?
I'm gonna say I'd expect to meet earlier than that, though,
Yeah, for the space needs study stuff. Once
but at
we,
least to put something on a calendar at least.
sound good? So October 30th? All right. And we're at the end of our agenda, so. Land speed record, boys, land speed record. You guys have a great night.